This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
He gets bigger every day.
I know. Anyway, welcome back to the Capes and Lunatics, episode 204. I am Phil. Joining me as always is the traveling stash in New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa, here to sell you some snake oil.
And that hit millennial who's too cool for dad jokes. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Popeye. I'm not too cool for dad jokes.
Too cool for school. It's cool with dad.
Just too school for outer layers of flesh.
Whoa.
Exactly. I just want off this mortal coil, that's all.
Don't we all?
What you drink, Liam?
Speaking of which,
Stop the mortal coil. I want to get off.
All right, well,
it's just a monster. Don't.
I guess we can break the biggest earth-shattering news in honor of something big that's happening this weekend. But yeah, they announced that on July 7th, we're getting a new Moon Knight book by Jed MacKay, the writer of Black Cat and Taskmaster.
Ooh.
Do I look like my name is Ray Ray?
Oh!
I'm kidding. I'm very excited for the Moon Knight fandom.
I will say this. I liked Taskmaster and I liked Black Cat. So
Loved Black Cat.
So my question is just randomly they're like, oh yeah, there's a series coming someday, so we're gonna throw out a series, or are we gonna get some kind of Moon Knight news between now and July 7th?
I don't know.
Maybe a premiere date, something.
I mean, there might be something. I mean, there's always going to be something. And here's what I'll tell you: if the Moon Knight book gets a lot of hype, then they might start to hype the series more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sort of the tail wagging the dog kind of thing. You know, they put JR on it, who is a very controversial artist among people. You know, I like him, but that is not a uniform opinion.
John Romita, I mean, it might work. I like his street level stuff, like his Spider-Man, his Daredevil. I don't know. It's just sometimes when he does like Superman or Thor, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is my cup of tea. But yeah, I love his street level stuff. So I think it might work on Moon Knight.
I think his biggest thing, he's, you know, as I always say, he needs a really good inker. And I don't think they've been inking him well lately, but you know, he's got he's got a style. It can look a little stiff, I won't lie, but at the same time, you know, I think a lot of times it's a stiffness that comes from drawing the physics of superpowers. You know, like for example, his flight is very, very interesting how he draws flight, because he seems to draw flight sort of pinned to a spot in space, that there's no thrust, but then, you know, obviously why should there be thrust when you're flying?
No.
If you're flying through magical means, you know,
If
it's
there's
like
no thrust when you're flying, I don't think you're doing it right. Am I right, ladies? Sorry, I'll show myself out.
It's okay. No, yeah. Speaking of dad jokes,
Whoa, that's a mama joke.
No, I'm just saying. You know, I've always felt that, and it's sort of like I go into this idea in my head that he's like very much into the physics of superpowers and how physics work in these certain environments. That you know, I feel like his vision of flight is that it's not, you know, it's not that, you know, when you're flying, there's some energy source coming off you. It's just sort of like you're willing yourself to exist in a different spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's, you know, it's an interesting thing when they're discussing flight on Invincible. They touch onto a very similar idea. The idea that, you know, for most beings, when they're flying, there's some kind of, you know, they're pushing on the air, but when you're
like you just
a superhero flying, it's like you're standing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like that's sort of where JR sees flight. So just something I've noticed about his drawing over the years, and that's sort of a take I take away from it.
And yeah, I just thought I wanted to mention that because I like Moon Knight. And two, should be sometime, well, the same week this hits our podcast. Into the Night's hitting its 200th episode. I will be on there with a few other people to play the.
Catch up, slacker!
Oh, I think he's starting to put out twice a week, so he might pass us. But
he's pulling the old Spider-Man routine, eh?
He has a. Whoa, he's pulling what? But he has a couple of us playing a game show for, so there's certain listeners can win prizes and we're each playing for a different person. So
nice. He's so fancy.
Yes, he is. He's a fancy man.
Oh, he's I think he's planning like music and sound effects. I'm like, well, if you need me to run it through the old soundboard, let me know. So yes, kids, tune in to Into the Night 200. It should be quite the production.
Looking forward to it.
Thought I'd give him the old shout out because always a good show over there.
It was just a really nice package.
Anyway,
he's married, so moving on.
He gives me his bone. He gives me his bone.
I don't know what's
I
going
don't
on.
know what that's a reference to.
It's a Green Lantern thing. Oh, this week was it this? Yeah, this week was First Contact Day.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when in the Mirror Universe,
Zephram
Cochrane shot the Vulcans, stole their tech.
Here, he just got them drunk and introduced them to music. Well,
Yeah, which is probably far more detrimental to the Vulcan species, quite frankly. Get infected with that human virus, as they say.
It's root beer. It's all root beer.
It's all root beer.
To quote freaking Ferengi, my favorite persuasion.
I tell you, there's got to be like Star Trek conspiracy theorists on other planets. Like, yeah, man, they get in your brain with the root beer. Don't drink the root beer, man. The bubbles, they go into your brain and they make you think it's okay.
But
nothing they do is okay.
I mean, they had little teasers and stuff. I think they did something for season 4 Discovery and stuff. But
season 2 Picard trailer.
I was gonna say,
yes,
is that a full trailer? That seemed like a teaser, didn't it?
Well, teaser trailer.
Yeah, but
it's
so season 2.
They gave us what we wanted.
Season 2, 2022. It looks like we're getting Q.
We're getting a buddy cop.
Jeez.
Well,
a buddy cop story with Picard and Q cruising the galaxy. It's going to be a road picture. It's going to be Q and Picard on the road to oblivion. We're on the road to oblivion.
I think they just wanted to get the thing
certainly do get around. Sorry.
I think they just wanted to get the thing up and running before they spent the John Delancey money, right?
Yeah. Well, I think. Well, honestly, I think they just wanted to make sure that neither of their stars died of the COVID before they got into production.
That's always look on the bright side.
Not to be rude about it, but it's like we do have a lot of great Treks in the danger zone, but they have both publicly gotten their vaccinations, so yay. Yes, but I'm very excited about that because clearly Q is back, and the trial never ends, which lets us know. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to flashpoint it all. They're just going to have Q taking Picard through all the universes.
Well, to be fair, for at least John Delaney, they do have his son who did actually play his actual son in Star Trek. That looks very much like him. So if anything, I'm just saying we got a backup on the Delaney thing.
Delancey.
I was
Dana Delaney,
it just rolls off
John
the tongue
Delancey.
better.
I know, but
so speaking of Voyager, is Picard going to be like, I thought you loved me. Why were you all macking on Janeway?
He's after Cisco punched me in the face and told me never to show up again, I needed a little tender love and care from Janeway.
And he'd already coded himself as male, and had he known that was his reaction to females, he would have appeared as a woman. So annoying, but it's like now I'm already in this form and I have to work with your puny human brain. Human brains.
The worst.
It's meat that thinks.
Hey-o.
Right, Lo? Oh, but
I'm gonna need that drop, Philip. I'm gonna need that drop.
okay. Meet that things. But did you see the other teaser, Charlie Esther? I guess they're I don't know if LeVar Burton was doing like a I don't know, like in one of his little videos for somebody, but he was wearing a shirt that it was a Lower Deck shirt, and it said something like I partied with the crew of like Star Trek Lower Decks or whatever. And someone's like, oh, is he gonna be on the is he gonna
He might direct, that's his thing, honestly.
yeah. But animation, they're like, oh, is he gonna do a voice?
Yeah, well,
I mean, we had Riker already, and they're like, oh,
I'm sure they're all gonna get. That's the great thing about animation is you can literally phone it in. It's like,
and it doesn't matter what you look like. Yeah,
exactly. So we'll get.
Yeah, because the picture I saw, he had like a white beard and stuff. I'm like, oh.
Yes, but I would love to see Geordie LaForge back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's nowhere near the engineer that Miles O'Brien is, of course. But
greatest.
I like my engineers with a little less suffering. I'm just saying, that's just a smidge less suffering.
I know, but we all know that the greatest Starfleet officer ever was Miles O'Brien. Although he's not an officer, that is a mistake. He's a chief. He may have stripes up and down his thing, but he's not an officer. Don't you call him sir? He'll punch you if you call him sir. He's a chief. Thank you very much.
Well, do you guys think online they said like he told during Deep Space Nine? I guess he told like the costume people, he's like, yeah, I need like a uniform where I can like roll up the sleeves. He's like, because he's not a commission man. He's gonna roll up his sleeves, get his hands dirty.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the chief engineer, and it's a great thing for him, and it's just great.
I could talk about this all day. How I was like so annoyed that they paired him up with Julian. When in all honesty, Sisko's an engineer too. He likes to fix stuff too. And in the first two seasons, they were kind of going the bestie route. They're like, oh, we can't give Julian back, so we got to give him somebody, and we don't like Keiko, so here you go. Yeah, but pair your spares.
Yeah, but it just seems like a lot of those Star Trek series, I mean, especially like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, even Voyager, like first couple seasons, it seems like they like to keep those captains like separate from like the rest of the crew.
And it's classic odd couple pairing. You got to put the scruffy one with the fastidious one, and it's like
I said, pair your spares. I get it.
And honestly, it gave us so much good fan fiction.
It's like him and Julian, and then Quark and Odo, two best friendships in all of Star Trek. Yeah. # fight me. I don't care.
How dare you, Data and Geordie? How about
no? Quark and Odo is the greatest friendship in all of Star Trek franchise. I don't care.
Tom Paris and Harry Kim listen to their podcast.
Okay, that's like a third. They're like third.
There's a lot of good friendships in Star Trek, I think we can all agree on that. I just want to show up on Lower Decks. Admiral Sulu. He's 800 years old. But he still looks like he's
fabulous.
Hey, they put Picard in our android body. Why not Sulu?
He was the first one to adopt an android body. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Wait, Picard's in an android body now?
Yeah, and you didn't watch the end of
No.
Pulling the old Lex Luthor / Dr. Doom /
So he's dead, and now he lives on as a simulation of Picard in a robot body. He's a
justice for synths, baby. Justice for synths.
Yeah, but it's kind of pointless because it's not like a data body. It doesn't have like super strength. They are like, oh yeah, it's gonna simulate a normal human lifespan. So.
No, what's the point of that?
Exactly. If you're gonna be in an android body, why do you want a normal lifespan?
Androids want to
it's like, it's also you get to still be old. So there's that.
Well, they could easily.
Somebody get Tom Hardy on the line.
They could easily fix that. I mean, Q could just snap him back to his body.
Well, yeah, that, and they probably, or in fact, I will guarantee you, now that I know that, I think I've heard that before, but yeah, I don't, who has time? I guarantee you that's going to be like, oh, you're the puppet that thinks you're Picard. It's a pleasure to meet you. You know, and it's gonna be about Picard trying to prove himself to Q, and like I said, it's gonna be a buddy cop drama. They're gonna be cruising the galaxy in the Delta Flyer or something. You know.
Oh my.
You know. Yeah.
When is he gonna be thrown out of the continuum again?
Yeah.
No. Oh, what if they banish him again and take his powers? That's why he appears older.
Well, you know, but that's the. I don't even.
Although,
you know,
that's
the thing. I always get the feeling like that whole Q continuum thing. That's like just for our benefit.
Well, I mean,
it's like if you guys could comprehend what we are.
Oh yeah, remember?
You wouldn't really understand it. You still wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
It kind of showed the inside of it on Voyager. You know, remember they were like fighting the Civil War and stuff, and it's just like, oh yeah.
It appeared, yeah, because they were having. But that's the thing. I have a feeling that all the Q are the Q. All the Q are the same Q. But, you know, it's sort of like my Beyonder theory, which is like, you know, they're all just this one thing, but that they are all different aspects of the same thing. So, like, and that's why it was such a big deal when, we're going to create a new Q, a Q is going to leave. Because it's all part of them, and it's all them. They're all experiencing all the things all the time. You know? Is such a BA. So, you know, the idea that, you know, everything that Q does, the Q are doing, you know, it's the Q. It's a Q thing. Anyway, but I mean, I'm happy to have Q back. We all love Q. Q came back on Lower Decks already, so. And he was just, come on, no one wants to play with me anymore.
I haven't watched it since episode 3.
It's fantastic. They got the new season coming. I'm very excited about it. Boimler is.
You were kind of iffy on it the first season.
I had some iffiness in their characterizations because they went way too Mary Sue with the female character. They just made her like she's just great at everything. And it's like, you know, and even where they had a moment to show where her flaws were with in contrast to Boimler, they kind of screwed it up on like the 3rd episode. But they later did redeem themselves, and they really did show that Boimler actually did have a lot of strengths.
I think they were just exploring their territory. Because again, I mean, this is pretty. I mean, isn't this like the first like humorous Star Trek series?
Yeah, and I get that, but you know, they very much made, you know, she's a young Kirk, and Kirk is great as an old Kirk. It's like when you get like your whatever that those movies were like, hey, I never actually graduated the academy, but now I'm captain. Call me Kirk. You know, it's a little pushy, you know, when Kirk does it, and you know. So it's I kind of feel like it had that vibe, which was not a very popular vibe, but they resolved it and they actually gave everybody a great arc by the end of the season. So I was very pleased by how it all came around. Really turned me around, and it's a really enjoyable show. You know, it's got a lot of silly humor, but also is very much grounded in a reality-based idea of what the Starfleet universe might be.
But,
and I also just love the idea that, yeah, everyone has bunks. That if you're not like bridge crew, you're just down in the lower decks, and it's just like bunk beds. You know, for all the Starfleet Academy graduates, for all the non-coms, you know.
But no, speaking of Kirk, Steel City Con, I guess, is going to happen finally in June, and I guess Shatner's on the schedule. So I'm like, man, he's 90, man. I'm like, what?
Did he get his shot?
I would assume. I mean, if he's gonna be around.
Look, listen. No offense, you can't assume anything with Willie Shat. All right.
Well, I would assume if he wants it, he's got it. You know, because it's Shatner.
But I'm
Exactly
sure,
my point.
yeah, he's in the group. He could get it, so I'm sure he got it. He may not be making a big deal about it because Trump didn't even make a big deal about it, and he got his. Because
Well, I
that's
mean, he's a ham, though, is the point, and that's the whole trend. He does
Hey.
follow trends. So I'm just curious. That's all.
Who's a ham?
Yeah.
Who's a ham? Trump or Shatner?
Both.
yeah.
But
But no, I mean, but I'm sure he got it. I don't see him fighting it. Quite frankly, I don't see why he would.
I mean,
Because
I
he's
don't know if there's any more
Canadian.
members
First
of
off,
Star Trek right now. Like I can't.
I'm thinking if that's the thing, the only thing standing between him and getting paid, Shatner got that shot because I think his,
oh yeah, he loves
his
to get
number
paid.
one mission is to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, he's Canadian. He's a Canadian Jew. He's
That's
not.
at Charlie Esser. That's the two E's in the middle.
But he is. None of those things are false.
Yeah, Adam Sandler taught us that. He's a Canadian Jew.
Yeah, I knew that even before Adam Sandler made it popular. Yeah,
Oh, over there, no.
I believe I want to say he's from Montreal,
With his
He would
beady,
explain
but I could be
why
mistaken.
he's
It might have
from
been
Montreal.
Toronto.
I don't think he's from Montreal, to be honest.
with his beady eyes and flapping head.
Like in real life.
No, but I'm just saying. No matter how conservative he may be, he's Canadian conservative. It's a very different kind of conservative. It's like British conservatives, where they're very
No.
no.
21st. No. They're all loonies. They're all loonies.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm just saying you can't always judge how Americans are by how people outside of America are. America's
I'm just saying, but
very
Shatner
different.
specifically, he spent way too much time in America.
Yeah, but his
And it shows.
yeah, but his politics though.
We need the money. Gimme.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like Shatner isn't the kind of guy to tweet out of turn, generally speaking. He'll say things out of turn. And he'll say
don't you
stupid...
know Bleep My Dad Says was actually based on his tweets? That show? Don't you know that?
Yeah.
No, it's a true story. That's how they pitched it.
Oh, well, there you go. So what do I know?
He's kind of let go in his old age. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
He
is
you do.
90.
Hey, you earned it, buddy. Because
He is 90 and he is, he's living his best, his best aging
nerd
actor
celebrity life. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
I wonder if an interview can be bought with the price of a dinner.
No. He's kind of pricey, actually.
Yeah. Even like,
his cameos are super pricey. Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm sure we could. You could.
And with all due respect, I get it, but
yeah.
I mean, he's
that's not a birthday present.
if he's unless he's hyping something he's doing, yeah, you have to pay him like an actual actor to show up.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an actor and you pay me like an actor. I'll do whatever you want, but you have to pay me like an actor.
Do it for scale. I think I can. If you can do it for scale.
I don't think Shatner works for scale.
Any high price green ladies want to help me out here?
Yeah, well, that I mean, who doesn't like painted ladies? That's all I'm saying.
This has turned into Star Trek Nerd Fest. Can we get this back on the rails for people that aren't Trekkies?
Don't you know where we're at? I didn't have any other news. Anyone have anything else to discuss, or should we get the comics? I mean, we could do some in-depth comics because the last couple of weeks we've been doing shows.
Yeah, I got lots of comics.
Abominations of movies.
I'm still hungover from the Snyder.
Oh my god! And again, internet, can you please shut the hell up about the Snyder cut already? He got his shot. Let it go.
Destroy the Snyderverse.
Let me. I don't know if anyone has seen Matt Pat's recent film theory on the Snyderverse.
There is only food theory.
Okay. It's actually pretty cool, where he basically suggests that the Snyderverse is restored. It's just Snyder's not going to be in charge of it anymore. That the bad ending observed was avoided because Flash goes back in time, as we saw in the in actually the Justice League, but actually that's sort of it's we see in Batman v Superman. That's right. Flash goes back in time in Batman v Superman, but he only mentions that in the Snyder Cut, not in Justice League. So that basically what we see in the Snyder Cut is actually a story that plays out from after the events of essentially the Justice League universe, where okay, whatever. I mean, I found it a very fascinating
Go
theory.
check out Matt Pat. He's fantastic. If you haven't discovered him, what are you even doing on YouTube at this point?
But no, it gave me, and again, it's one of these things where, I think as an academic pursuit, I think the Snyder Cut has value. It's sort of like when my son talks to me about Attack on Titans. Now, I don't think
I'm so sorry.
Hey, he is deep into the lore. He knows
it all. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And he studies it, man. And I love that. I love that quality of my kids, that they do study that lore. In the way that when I was a young man, I studied Marvel lore, and I was reading back then we didn't have internet, so we had paper comic books.
The handbook the official handbook of the
Marvel. Leave!
We had Marvel Saga and the official handbook, and we had all these things, and that was my lore, and that was my tomes of important knowledge.
I kept coming back to that page in the handbook with Nightshade.
Yeah, well, it was a nice scene. She was well drawn, and she has a fascinating story. Wolf Cap and all.
Did you see the latest food theory though? About how the Grubhub has its own cinematic universe?
Oh, the Grubhub, based on the Jimmy Neutron universe,
yeah.
Which I enjoyed, and I found that very fascinating.
I was so sketchy about food theory. I'm not even gonna lie. I was just like, "Come on, Matt Pat, you're pushing it." But it's my favorite one. I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite one out of the three now.
Yeah. You know what I really want him to do? I want him to do an in-depth analysis about whether or not it actually would be profitable on a larger corporate sense to actually put worms in hamburgers. Because it had always been this thing that they don't put worms in hamburgers because worms actually aren't a cheaper form of meat. But that I was wondering, if you took all global costs, including the cost to the environment of raising beef, if you could offset that to make worms a profitable concept within the food service industry.
That is tell them. Or tweet them.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned in the. I don't know how. I should try and tweet. I should do that.
No, don't do
I just think that there's such an interesting question there. That is an interesting question about how, because I mean, we all heard the rumors about they put worm meat in X company's burgers.
That'll help.
And the biggest argument was that worms are not actually a cost-effective meat filler.
But then anything dog food, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could go. Yeah, lower quality beef is actually probably the cheapest thing you could buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you see, I guess the argument would be that you could get worms past the FDA. That worms would.
As a vegan source, Beyond Burgers are no. Technically, worms are still animals. Never mind.
Yeah,
Organic.
Yes, but the idea would be that if you offset the carbon cost of beef, would worms actually be
don't give the elitist bloodsuckers any ideas, Charlie. I don't want to eat worms. I don't want to eat Soylent Green.
Hey, Soylent was just trying to eat heel.
That stuff.
I want a mammal. I want a mammal.
I don't want nature's cereal. I don't want any of it.
I'm just saying, the Soylent Corporation gets a bad rap. They were just trying to keep humanity alive in the last days.
I get it, but I don't want it.
Exactly, man. It's basically Soylent Green was just hospice care. It's like planet's dying, we're all dying. We're gonna do our best to just make it as tolerable as we can.
But it was.
And if you want to die, go to the nice suicide centers where we're going to pay a nice movie. We'll have, a person give you a nice glass of wine as you watch the movie and you take your black pill. And it's like, That's what we're doing. We're trying to help. We're trying to help.
You it at first, but then you're like, oh, I get it. Thank you for that.
Anyway, that's my thing about Swirlet.
Okay, comic books.
Comic books.
Hey, come on, Lilith. Not everyone's Mad Cat nerds. Come on.
I know,
Hey,
poor Phil.
I got a DC book this week.
I'm sorry.
Green Lantern #1. Yeah.
Because it has Teen Lantern. Although, is she a Teen Lantern? Because they say she's 11 in here. And she insists she's...
They forgot the W.
Well, that's the thing. I think she wants to be called Teen Lantern.
Well, and she was invented by Bendis, so...
But she's actually not really a teen. She's basically... She seems to be DC's...
Is this the answer to a Dinosaur Girl or whatever?
Yeah. She's basically Moon Girl. Kind of draw her a bit like Moon Girl.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got when I saw the cover. But is it any good?
Kind of, because she's smart, because she hacked that lantern tech.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, she's got... Well, it's not lantern tech. That's the thing.
Well, it is, but it was put together from lantern tech. But yeah, originally it was... I don't know.
Well, I mean, whatever it is. Because, like, the... What do they call them? The Elders of the Universe, the Elders of Ao say that, no, it's not their tech.
I mean, Lilith, you might...
So we got a Riri Williams on our hands is what we really have.
Yeah.
Lilith, you might like this because, I mean, Hal calls in towards the beginning, but, like, the writers...
Is he going to age her up in a creepy way?
Oh, well, no. Hal just calls in, makes, a phone call. No, I mean, because the writers even go on record say he don't like Hal Jordan. No, that's, mostly Jon Stewart,
Yeah.
Teen Lantern, Simon Baz makes an appearance.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one thing I really love in this, and this was one of my favorite things at the very end. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but I loved that at the very end, when you have the honor guard for the Green Lanterns, they all have red capes. And I just thought that was a great little shout out to good old Alan Scott, the best Green Lantern.
Well, and this whole United Planets thing, that's a thing Bendis started in Superman, so.
Yeah, so it's all about, and this is, and
wait a minute, Teen Lantern, United Planets, is this you writing under a pen name, Bendis?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems like a lot of Bendis stuff popping up in their book.
Well,
yeah,
they got to get their money
was
out
very
of
nice.
somewhere. They didn't help with the Superman sales, so...
I'm gonna say this. They actually did a great thing with the villain of the week, where they have to fight it with the power of keeping calm and carrying on, which was an interesting concept.
Charlie told me he picked this book up for two reasons: Teen Lantern, and of course we get Sinestro.
Yes, the Sinestro, and Sinestro just holds them to the fire. It's like, no, man. I was the greatest Lantern. I served them, but I got to see how awful these guys were, and you almost kind of get the feeling that they from his perspective, the Elders were evil, the Lanterns were evil. I
mean, he's not really wrong. I think that. Yeah. Well, I don't know that they're evil. They're just not explicitly good.
They're just bad at their jobs.
They drag their feet on certain things.
We were talking about this on the Green Lantern podcast. It's they always write the Guardians either inept or just
indifferent,
emotionless. Yeah. So they're either stupid or just bad at their job.
It's DC. Everybody's bad at their job, darling.
Well, they're ancient super beings who need a vacation.
But I love what they are. I love that Sinestro. He's some of it's part of them. I know how the sausage is made.
Sausage.
Oh, no.
Yes. So, but it's good. But I love the Teen Lantern character. I want to see more. I find it weird that she. Well, I mean, that's their ode to Spanglish. Is that every so often she just throws in random phrases in Spanish, which I can get. I can get. But it's an interesting quirk, and I get what they're trying to do with that. They're trying to have her communicate in a way that the readers can all understand, but then for authenticity, she'll insult people in Spanish. So, and then you have the whole Gem World people who are mad at the Lanterns or what are they called the Guardians? The Guardians, because I guess they stole magic. They stole half the magic in the universe or something.
Oh, yeah, the Starheart, which basically what powers Alan Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
Okay.
they're really trying to make. I mean, I'm glad they're trying to make Alan Scott a thing, and they're.
I mean, he wasn't even in
bringing
the
him
issue. They just mentioned the Starheart.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to because of Stargirl. Hashtag.
Well,
synergy.
and two, isn't Alan Scott supposed to be in that Green Lantern series?
Is he?
Max was putting
That
out?
would be utterly shocking.
I thought they said him, Guy Gardner. Who else did they say? Is it Simon Bass? There's a bunch of Sinestro is going to be in there. So yeah. Remember they said that it was basically a bunch of Lanterns that weren't Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, or John Stewart or Cal Rayner. I don't think.
I mean, Kyle's not the best known. They could have thrown him in there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're going to do a thing without Hal Jordan or John Stewart. Okay.
Well, I just love them using Alan Scott, man.
Yeah.
You know, we need more Alan Scott. That's all I'm saying.
We need more golden era. So.
Yeah, that's why it's called the Golden Age of Comics, because they were figuring stuff out.
Oh, hey, Crime Syndicate #2 came out.
I know.
Oh,
I haven't read it.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. How'd that go?
It's still wacky, but it's great. Lilith, do you realize this version of Superwoman is Donna Troy?
Yeah,
nice.
that's been
good for her.
That's been canon for a while, hasn't it?
No.
No. Why did I think that was? Why did I think that the Evil Earth one was always Donna Troy? So okay.
But I mean, there's that. I mean, they got a lot into Owlman. There's like his origin is even at the end because it's Thomas Wayne. His brother Bruce and his parents were killed that night.
Damn, son, how much man pain can it take?
I know. Oh, and then there's a short story at the end. He hunts down the killer of his family, Harvey Dent, or not Harvey Dent, Harvey Bullock.
Oh.
Harvey Bullock. Because they were righteous criminals killed by some mean cop. Is that what it was? Or
well, yeah, they were criminals, but they were also killed by another criminal organization. Another criminal organization run by Boss Gordon.
Boss Gordon. Oh yeah.
The cigar all makes sense now, don't it?
And then he's like dangling Bullock up a building, and he's like, you don't kill, and then
pray to me.
But no, once he figures that he says criminals just kill criminals and all this, and he's like none of it matters. And he just like drops Bullock off the building. He's like, I can kill, nothing matters.
Did you pick up Swamp Thing #2 by the way?
I
if you didn't, you should have.
Did you read it?
Yes, of course. Swamp Thing. I have to support Swamp Thing. I actually bought it. Shh, don't tell DC.
Whoa.
They already know, Lilith.
No,
you see, we have our hooks into our...
No. They don't know anything over there. It's a clusterfuck.
So is that still good?
I enjoy it. I thought that the artwork is definitely a choice. Not the artist that I would have necessarily gone with Swamp Thing. It's not bad. It's just different. A little too body gore for what the story kind of is trying to go for, a more sensitive tone. So it's like that juxtaposition that might not work for a lot of people. But the story is really strong. So, but it's not. It's a new guy. In case you don't know. So.
Well, it's a new person.
Oh yeah.
A new swamp thing.
Yeah. Levi Cami is the guy's name. So yeah.
Okay, so not Fred Salas.
No.
Okay.
Although, honestly, in the artwork.
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So how did he get to be? Just out of
annoying.
curiosity, did they say how he got to be Swamp Thing?
This is our thing. He kind of just wakes up and he's wandering and he's trying to find his path. He's like literally lost in the desert right now. Like literally.
Like the Swamp Thing is lost in the desert.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But we don't know how he became the Swamp. We just know that this guy woke up one day and he was the Swamp Thing, and
that's kind of like the mystery we're uncovering. So we're learning about like all the side characters in his life and stuff like that. So it is a little slow, but I find it interesting because it's a mystery, and that's the way I love Swamp Thing, to be honest.
Very cool. So I got Conan #20.
Ooh, that's a nice cover.
Yes, he's fighting a giant saber-toothed leopard. It's not a saber-toothed leopard when you get inside, but it's a dramatic cover. That's for sure.
Bait and switch. Bait and switch.
Well, he does fight a leopard, see? It's right there. There's the leopard. And there's actually 2 leopards because, well, the husband leopard is attacking Conan. The lady leopard's going to go kill his little scholar lady. So Conan's like, I guess I got to kill them both now. And so he kills them both. And they go to the nearest village they can find because they figure, oh, you know what? Maybe if we can get you on a boat, you can go out there and, sail back to somewhere. But then, of course, the emperor comes for taxes and the rebels come. And then this is the big thing is, of course, Conan, he's like all cool. Yeah, I'll fight with you guys. What the heck? I'm hungry and you have wine, so I like to chill. And then the leader is like, well, tell you what, we're going to, let's have a duel for reasons. And of course, it's a big fight. This guy's actually super strong, really fast. And Conan realizes he's about to lose it. He gets he gets punched a few times. He realizes he's kind of outmatched physically, but he figures, well, you know what? I'll just have to outsmart him. Does get behind the guy, does choke him out. But, the guy's like, I won't go down without I'm not going to yield unless you yield. And then Conan eventually has to snap the guy's neck. And everyone's like, oh. And
I will not yield!
Yes. But then the guy, gets back up, fixes his head, and is like, best 2 out of 3? So yay! Healing factor mutants. This is Logan's great grandfather. We assume. Because we all know them Howlets, they breed true. Which is why they're not mutants, by the way. Mutants have different powers every time. The Howlets always do the same thing. They figured it out in medieval, ancient Pangea, and they are not changing their ways. So that's cool. We like mutants.
But before we get to Marvel stuff, I do want to shout out Image. And this might be up both your guys' alley. I don't know. It's called The Silver Coin. It's a one-shot. And the art is by Michael Walsh, and the story is by Chip Zdarsky. I love Chip. And all he does, especially like the creator-owned stuff that he does, very cool. So, and it's also like a lot of people that collaborated. So you have Kelly Thompson there, you have Ed Brisson and Jeff Lemire, and it's like a horror anthology miniseries. It's rated M. Throw that out there. So it's all about like set in 1978, and we're watching this rock band fall apart on their last world tour. So, and like they're cursed. They're of course their fame was cursed. They sold their souls.
Oh, that's how that
anthology
goes.
Stories.
Oh my!
So I found it.
Didn't they see the Devil in Max Devlin? That tells you when you sell your soul for music. Oh no, sorry, that was Old God Book 3. That was my mistake. Yeah, Oh God Book 3 is when you realize that if you sell your soul for music, it will gang on by the end. Although that also is a plot line in The Devil in Max Devlin. So
it's always a plot somewhere. But I thought that as a horror, like a creepy horror anthology, and it's a one shot. It was a good way to spend $4 for me. Especially since it didn't go to Marvel or DC. So I thought I'd throw that out there.
Hey, Batman's $5.
I know you did, Phil.
But it's oversized. They try to give you everything. I mean,
oversized. What, like the cover of Batman Damned?
Oh no, but no, just Scarecrow.
You just got a sweaty gym sock in there, Phil.
Commissioner Montoya, Harley is part of the Bat family. Playing.
Boo! You need to leave.
Barber's back as Oracle. Yeah.
Okay, but can she go to Washington, D.C.? I am on the Kristen hype train for her with this one. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
That girl back in D.C. being our AOC, fill-in. Like, yes, let's do that.
Diggity dank.
Senator Batgirl. I like it.
Senator Gordon.
And I guess the updated Matches Malone just goes by Matches now, Lilith.
Boo! Stop changing everything. I'm old. I don't like it.
Wait, Matches Malone. That's Bruce Wayne's like alter ego.
Yeah, like
It's a street meat man.
undercover. Yeah. I'm a criminal, sir.
That's why they call me Matches. But I don't smoke because I like to start fires, I guess. My indie book this week, of course, is Vampire the Masquerade Winter's Teeth. It's kind of cool. We get like our little Anarch's tale with the prince and a lot of cool manipulation that feeds throughout it, culminating in like they're going to kill the nurse who was taking care of Cecily Bain's sister because she saw something. But when they go to the basically the culling where they kill before a big Camarilla bigwig comes, they have a big ceremonial culling of anyone that think might be close to uncovering the masquerade, and they bargain for the nurse's life. But then they're like, but of course, as it turns out, there was one other person that isn't in the room, and that's a 10-year-old boy. So you can decide, do we kill the nurse or this 10-year-old boy who we think might have been a hunter, but we realized, because we knew someone in this family was a hunter, and we assumed it was either him or this one. But when we realized the boy was too young, but we're still going to kill him anyway because he saw us kidnap his brother. And then, of course, the prince orders Allie to kill them. She gives proof. She kills proof that she killed it by giving him an ear. But then we find out, the 10-year-old actually was the hunter and kills the old lady vampire, which makes you think that was something that Went knew all along. So that's pretty cool.
That's why
And
you
we get our
can't trust
backup.
these kids. I told y'all you can't trust
I
these
know.
kids.
You get a cool backup Anarch's tale. Basically, apparently, one of them is like trying to do like weird meth lab cooking thaumaturgy to get vampires either powers or get them high.
What is this book, Charlie?
It's a great book, man. I mean, if you,
it's not. It's just like, are we gonna kill the kid? Let's kill the kid.
Vampire
And also, let's make a meth lab.
yeah, well,
Seriously,
because
nobody tell Rob.
basically it's the story and the backup story. The backup story is the meth lab.
Who wrote this? Gilligan?
Seeley, Howard and Howard. Let's see. Let me see who gets all the credits here. Written by Tim Seeley. Tim Seeley.
There
where
you
do I know that name?
go.
Yeah.
In your face, Philip.
Yeah. So written by Tim Seeley. So
That
I
explains
guess that
why.
answers a question for you guys.
We have to like it. Okay.
Hey, this is Tim Seeley, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Well, there we go. We should have him on the show sometime.
Again, if he's not sick of us, good Lord, he must be sick of us.
Really sit down with Charlie Esser for Vampire the Masquerade. I mean, he hasn't talked that yet. Real.
Well, really, yeah. Maybe we should, man. I mean, goodness.
Hey, you got two Patreons you could do.
I wonder
that.
if he played the RPG.
Probably.
I mean, I imagine he would have. It seems.
I mean, you could just read the book, not necessarily.
I mean, yeah, you
play.
could just read the book. You know, I mean,
The guidebook,
It's-
in case y'all don't know.
yeah.
For the
No,
uninitiated.
Oh, of course, it's sometime of day, so Russell's watching. Hi, Russell.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, Russell.
Okay, do we want to talk any King in Black or Venom?
I'm over it.
Well, this was the last part issue
I
5.
know, but I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
officially burnt out.
You know, Eddie Brock. He has to go back to his home. He has to go back to his home world now. His people need him, and
Planet of the Meathead.
yeah, I mean that's basically they gave him the Poochie ending. So that's. I mean, honestly, I'm happy for him to have the Poochie ending. It's great.
Well, again, Venom 34 or issue 199, so you know what's coming next month.
Yeah, we get the return of Flash Thompson. So now Flash Thompson will be Venom.
I knew
A
that.
Venom we can all get behind.
Hell.
I wouldn't want to get behind me neither. Yeah, I knew. the minute Slot killed him off, I knew he was coming back. It was just a matter of when.
And
Yeah,
how?
Well, that's one of the things that I have to really point out to people, remind them that actually, no, Sharon Carter was dead for a very long time, and going deep cover in unscrupulous place, that was actually her story. So it's like,
and they're used to play you in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll get to that on Super Connectivity, but she has her own satellite. She's not the power broker, but she has her own satellite.
No, she's a SHIELD agent. That's why she has her own satellite.
Former SHIELD agent.
Oh yeah, former SHIELD agent.
I'll let you boys talk this on Super Connectivity, but I just want to say the best Marvel book was absolutely the Hulk book this week.
Oh, Mortal
Hulk,
yes.
number 45, hands down.
We want to talk Immortal Hulk? Let's talk Immortal Hulk.
No, I'll let you guys talk it on Super Connectivity. I just wanted to give that shout out.
You just wanted to say you liked it.
Yes.
But we'll
it
talk
was
it
great.
later.
Like honestly, I'm
Well,
like
here's my thumb. Moving on.
Yes. I want to talk about it. Just going to acknowledge that I did read it and it was good.
And I'm going to watch you boys talk about it on Super Connectivity because we're at 50 minutes, so I don't want to in case Phil has another book he wants to talk about.
No, I got enough eye rolls for Batman. No, I'm good. Anyone else?
He's like, I'll just sit here. Also, Marauders 19 is a thing that exists. If you're looking for fun and pirates, it's still there. I don't know for how long, but it's still there, and it's still kind of fun. It's still the best X book, and that's not saying much, I know. But if you want to get an X book, get that X book.
And there's more coming this summer. I mean, X Corp. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure,
just
why
leave
not?
the X-Men alone. This is the problem. Leave them alone. Let them
Well,
rest. Give them the Fantastic Four treatment at this point.
How many books can we pump out of this?
Well, I mean, it is a large. Here's the thing. I don't think everything should be called X. But,
exactly. Well, Marauders, they're learning their lesson about that, so everything's going to have an X in it because it's derivative.
So, maybe they should have been the X Marauders, but but I get that, and hey, it's like it's a way to denote yourself as a mutant in this culture.
If you can't stand on your own, you don't deserve a book.
Well, but maybe there's a story that deserves to be heard that has mutants, and they, and honestly, it's just. If we call ourselves X things, people will like it,
Well, no, people will pick it up. Doesn't mean they're going to like it. They're going to also judge it much more harshly. Yeah. That's the thing. X-Men fans are just the worst. We're like Star Wars fans at this point. We're the freaking worst.
Fair enough.
Stay tuned for the new X Mutants.
I actually love that book.
New X Mutants?
No, the X Mutants. It was a book. It was an indie book, basically. After nuclear war, everyone's a mutant, and then this doctor finds a way to return humans to basically less mutated forms. But then all the mutants don't like them. So
and then he became legend.
Yes, it's something like that. Yeah, so that was the X Mutant. But it's a good book. Basically it's, ninja swords and, 80s tech and scantily clad people.
Oh, of course. Charlie Ezra's eye.
It was a 90s black and white book. Yes, no one.
It had a lot of leather and spikes.
Swords and
it was in that same box with that Nightshade page.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was the 90s. It was a different time.
It was the 90s.
You children don't know. Back in the 90s.
I had to watch that scrambled pornography.
It's really great, though, seeing the comic book companies kind of bounce back from last year.
Yeah. I mean,
the stories are a lot more interesting. I feel like the heart and the pathos in the books now. It's kind of easy now because last year was rough for everybody. And so, it definitely showed in the storytelling and the art. And so I just feel like everybody's finally rebounding and getting back to normal.
Well, I think they're seeing this is their time to take their shots because it's like, stuff that's, it's getting better now, but for the longest time now, it's been, anything that you can do at home has been selling better than it's a lot of it in the years. So,
well, I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that one of the most fascinating things I'm seeing right now is just how many new labels are launching, how many new independents there are.
Indiegogo's.
Well, yeah,
all that stuff.
Everyone had a year in their little hidey holes to come up with ideas and put the work.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will.
Oh yeah, still waiting for my paper copy of Crossover Division any day now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and I kind of feel like it's a new indie insurgent. It's not quite like the old indies. I don't feel, because it seems very less.
They have a bigger chance of being successful as well, especially
exactly.
With
It's
Diamond distribution model being broken down.
It's gone
from every which way. Diamond has been a cancer on the comic book industry for quite a long time. Everybody's known it.
Yeah. Well, monopolies just aren't good.
Fight me, nerd.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Monopolies are bad for business. Because if you have a monopoly, your business is to stay in business as a monopoly. And,
to use whatever practices you see fit to stay in monopoly.
Exactly. So, all hail the new distribution methods.
Oh, look at us. Oh, we're pushing back issues, Lilith. Russell got his notebooks for the big crossover, all the DC shows in June. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We're keeping you alive, comic industry.
Basically. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm excited.
All right. Should we get out of here? I hear Lilith
yeah, she's...
my wine's gone, so.
I know. Your liver's getting bored, so.
Yeah. She just drank a Monster, so now she has to get more wine to counteract it, So it's
the Monster to counteract it.
Yeah, but that's not alcohol.
This is bad for your liver, but keeps your weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
you're going to have to go to bed eventually, I assume, Lilith.
She sleeps all day Sunday.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that works. Yeah. So she's going for that Vampire the Masquerade aesthetic,
All right, so as Lilith climbs back into her coffin, send us all your thoughts on the TV, the movies, the comics. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find links to all of our various social medias, links to this YouTube channel, links to the Capes and Lunatics Patreon, the Southgate Media Group Patreon, because you need more Rob.
Give us the money!
You need more Rob Southgate in your life, and merchandise. Bing, bing. So find links to all of that at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And please, please, please support our sponsors. Tweaked Audio. You want to hear
the rantings and ravings of these lunatics in HD audio quality.
I know, Charlie Esser's childhood. And crystal clear HD quality. So pick yourself some Tweaked Audio headphones. And like we said, get some more stuff that you can do at home. So go pick up Hunt a Killer. Michelle Gray needs your help.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, yes, Michelle Gray.
Escape room in a box.
That's what we
use the coupon code Southgate upon checkout.
That's right. Little mouthful. Anyway, and yes, and again, go pick up Pod Life, the book put together by Rob Southgate and the podcasters of the Southgate Media Group. Digital and paperback available now. Audiobook coming soon.
And that's available at Amazon, where they can get to by going to the link of the show notes. Costs them nothing. Helps the show.
That's right. The show, the network, and that wheeler dealer, twice as thrifty as any Ferengi, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants. Mark my words.
Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the internet, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire86, and for mundane comic book stuff at Lilith Hellfire69 on TikTok and Instagram.
The hard was implied.
As it should be, sir.
Hey-o, Charlie Esser.
Well, they can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way. There are Maz and Paz. One sit at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And likewise, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle. For what?
For quality. Ding!
Thank you, Maz.
Thank you for listening. Come back next time. But for another week, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics!
Yeehaw!
Oh, shout out to the queen, by the way. She took an L two-way. She lost her husband and her cousin.
Oh.
Tough.
Distant cousin.
Not distant enough.
Yeah, well. If you want to be ruled by the Beverly Hillbillies, that's what you get.
Oh my. A cement pond.
They were very rich and very inbred. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
But still good people. Sometimes.
Good people on both sides of the pond. Good night.